This is an early review or first impression, not a full review, important distinction. Alright, so this video is the culmination of many things that might mean nothing to some of you, especially to people that haven't played Atom RPG. If you haven't, then this won't mean anything, but to everyone that has played it and can add 2 and 2 together, it shouldn't be that difficult to understand. I've decided to make this video after watching Zealand's latest Football Manager 26 patch overview. Don't get me wrong, I like Zealand and his channel, he's funny, extremely likable and very knowledgeable about the game. But the lack of outrage of what kind of a scummy greedy company Sports Interactive is, which should be obvious to anyone after FM26, even though that has been a fact for a long time, pissed me off. Castrated feel-good YouTubers when it comes to calling games and companies out is astonishing. I get it, they all don't want to lose their privileges. I never cared about that, nor did I care about viewers' feelings, because what matters most to me are the games themselves and this industry in terms of what it can produce. Without proper feedback and constructive criticism, nothing can be better. I admit, I'm overworked. I had one break day in over a month, meaning 7 days a week working, and that one day was spent on dealing with a nasty toothache that even after 6 anesthetic injections, I could still feel everything. So already I'm skating on thin ice. Was looking forward to a proper break and some light work, but instead Swordhaven launched. Alright, said to myself, let's put everything aside and play what is by far my favorite and in my opinion highest quality gaming genre in existence since forever. My channel usually thrives when new CRPGs are out, so immediately it was a mentality switch from oh fuck me not now to let's take the opportunity and rest later, probably next summer, which is 7 months away. Can't afford skipping games, especially CRPGs when I'm broke. And I also really like Atom RPG, a great throwback to the original Fallouts. Enjoyed it very much despite the obvious flaws like subpar combat. And yes, it was subpar. Original Fallout games had weak combat already, but the kill satisfaction, something Atom RPG didn't have, was some of the highest, which saved it, and it was in 1999 and 2000, so a long time ago where it was either D&D style combat or JRPG. Wasteland 3 improved on the old Fallout formula quite a bit, added plenty tactical options next to the kill satisfaction to make turn-based as interesting as possible. Then Swordhaven came out in early access, gave it a go, liked what I saw and figured that it's early in the development so things would get much better. The base was there, and I kinda liked it. Kinda. Was worried it was too similar to Atom, but then realized it's an early access and the developers should be given a fair chance. Then the full release came and I've realized Swordhaven is basically Atom RPG, but they just removed guns and sold it as a new IP. That's it. When it's supposed to be a new IP that is a throwback to games like Baldur's Gate, it has nothing to do with games like Baldur's Gate. It's a medieval or attempt at medieval setting Atom RPG. Swordhaven uses the same engine, which is fine, no problem there. But it also copied weak combat from Atom RPG, which is now worse than ever. Swordhaven also uses same UI, same world map style, very similar building architecture, same crap inventory system, same way companion skills are utilized. What is the point of making a new IP when it's the same game with the same flaws? Sorry Atom team, this is the culmination of many things and I'm so pissed off at the moment that it had to give somewhere, and unfortunately it's your game. Then again, I didn't make the game, and the madness is justified by Swordhaven and what it is. Emotions are never a good thing unless they have a rational basis, and I have a basis for my madness here when accounting all the factors happening this week. Swordhaven was the tipping point, more so because I switched quickly from can't be arsed covering another game to actually this is an opportunity and it's a CRPG which is rare, so let's get to it, might be a blast. It's not a bad game, don't get me wrong. Especially if you haven't played Atom RPG. It's just a blatant knockoff of Atom RPG. So damn blatant it pissed me off. This is the first time a CRPG pissed me off. What's worse is that the game was in early access. So either players giving feedback on how to improve the game are utterly useless, or don't know shit about games, or the developers ignored every good feedback and just went with this knockoff anyway. Wouldn't care as much if the game was just bad, but it's not bad. Brain dead decisions can throw me off, but if developers have no skill, they have no skill, what can you do? Despite rich history games have full of bad and great decisions to comb through. Fuck it, take a good idea and modify it slightly, who cares? As long as it works well in the game. Some developer studios just don't have the skill. That's not the case with Atom Team, I believe, and they showcased that already. But now, I don't know anymore. Either they wanted to create such a cheap knockoff or they don't have the skill to improve. The cheap knockoff part is what pisses me off much more. That's unacceptable. How in the hell do you come to a decision to transfer the same weak combat system from Atom RPG to Swordhaven? In Atom, only saving grace were the guns, which is why it worked to a degree to not ruin the experience. It's such a rudimentary basic combat system that could only be acceptable in the 80s and 90s when the games were improving every month due to new technologies and ideas. And then they make some sort of medieval game with melee weapons, bows, crossbows, and add couple special abilities for each weapon with the same damage threshold gear system that's in Fallout and Atom. No flanking, no attack of opportunity, no weapon sets, no shooting into melee debuff, none of the advanced options which were the basis of games like Baldur's Gate, you know, the game this was supposed to be a throwback to. You just stand and swing, hoping that RNG is going to be in your favor. That's it, that's the extent of it. Putting points into one skill in order to maximize the hit chance is the extent of the depth of this combat system. Not gonna even go into how real-time with pause is far more punishing and lacking compared to turn-based. Real-time is almost unplayable on hard difficulty. Again, no kill or hit feedback satisfaction either. Actually, it's even worse now without the guns. Animations range from mediocre to terrible, which again is more emphasized now that there are no guns, cause it's mostly mindless melee swings. In ranged combat, it is easier to mask some of the engine deficiencies, but in melee it's on show, for better or worse. In this case, worse. This game is such a copy of Atom that even guards of caravans encountered on the world map hold crossbows like they are holding assault rifles or SMGs, because they were doing that in Atom. I mean... How do you not improve on the worst part about your previous game? That to me is unacceptable, especially because writing and quests are solid. There are interesting quests with a good dialogue system, which are in my opinion strongest things about Swordhaven so far in the early game. The way we can utilize the character's strengths through the dialogue is quite well done. Quests are going to hold your attention the most, I believe, and some interesting NPCs. Though there are some things that took me out of the game, like my character going into what is supposed to be a medieval tavern and asking the bartender, "What's your hot take about the village?" Hot take, in a village, in backwards times. Also, a lot of the NPCs speak perfect language, which is a bit weird because, you know, it's the bloody backwards village. Setting seems off entirely to me, despite some interesting quests and NPCs. Lots of inconsistencies that don't make it believable. Oh yeah, here's also Shao Kahn thrown into the mix, cause why the fuck not? Might even meet Sub-Zero at some point, who knows? As I said, I might be harsh, but I know a knockoff when I see one. And Swordhaven is a knockoff of Atom RPG, not in a good way. No argument against that statement. Due to it, Swordhaven has nothing that stands out, that's unique, that's exceptionally well done. At least so far from what I've seen. And I've seen enough. Patreon, subscribe, star links in the description, moved reviews there recently due to YouTube fucking about with the algorithm again. See you.